Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my first official video off of the brand new laptop. That's right, I got my new laptop April 10th, 2020. So I understand I'm behind on a lot of videos right now, a lot of wrestling content, but also other content. And it's a long story, and I'll explain that in a different video. But I just want to get to what this video is about. I'm here to give you guys an Impact Wrestling video. That's right, I am actually going to talk about Impact Wrestling. It's been a while since I've talked about it. I haven't talked about it since Hard to Kill. And it's not because I turned on Impact Wrestling or anything like that, or I stopped watching it. Well, I did stop watching it, but it wasn't because I wasn't interested in the product. It was just because I was busy with schoolwork and other things like that, so I didn't have as much time to watch Impact and keep up to date with it. But a few nights ago, I went through and watched a crap load of episodes, and I am going to slowly try to catch up on Impact. I'm not going to do a video on every episode that's happened since now, just because that video would be very long and very wordy, and you lose interest really quickly. So I'm just gonna do a few Impact Wrestling videos. So I'm gonna start off with this first batch of episodes, and how I'll do it too is I won't necessarily review every episode, but I'll talk about the important things that's gone on since then. And what I'll do is I'll grade the episodes overall versus just going through each episode and grading each one. I'll just grade what I thought of the batch of episodes overall. So let's go over Impact Wrestling. So last I left off was Hard to Kill. That pay-per-view just happened. I haven't really reviewed or watched anything since then. So yeah, let's talk about it. Um, so I'll be doing Impact Wrestling shows from January 14th, 2020 until February, I believe it's February 15th. Let me double check. Um, yeah, February 15th, 2020. This is going to include the weekly TV show as well as Explosion. Um, I will start with the January 14th show just because it was more of a continuation of Hard to Kill. Um, it was hosted by and commentated by Don Callis and Josh Matthews. They did a Fatal 4-Way tag team match. These were matches that were filmed prior to Hard to Kill, so these were like the dog matches. It was Dez and Wentz versus Wahid Raju and Mahabali Shira versus Reno Scum versus TJP and Daga. That was a fairly solid tag team match. I thought it was pretty good. I really enjoy all these teams. Um, well, I don't really like Mahabali Shira. I like the other guy that's with Wahid Waju better. I enjoy Wahid Waju, though. I think he could be a future X Division champion. And they actually ended up winning Wahid Waju and Mahabali Shira. But it was a very competitive match. Definitely check it out. I'm not going to go through into detail about these matches, considering the fact that they happened so long ago, and this is just a batch. They also showed Joey Ryan versus Johnny Swinnell in that show. That was the payoff to the feud that they've been having. The match is pretty terrible, as all Joey Ryan matches are. Joey Ryan won, which I don't think was a surprise to anybody, but really didn't find that match all enjoyable. And yeah, they just kind of showed like a lot of highlights of Hard to Kill. They showed Michael Elgin going to Japan, but he was all and just kind of talked about what it was like for him to be back there since he hadn't been back there since he signed with Impact Wrestling. Um, Ken Shamrock was backstage talking about his victory over Madman Fulton. Um, they did an advertisement talking about Impact Wrestling going to Mexico. And throughout the night, they were doing this build up to this Impact X Division Championship match that they were going to do. That was recorded at Tommy Dreamer's promotion, House of Hardcore. It was between Ace Austin defending the title against Moose, Fallah and Eddie Edwards. And each guy in the match, I think except Fallah did a promo for it. And so that was enjoyable. Ace Austin retained his title by hitting the fold onto Fallah for the win and retain his title. That made sense. There was really no reason to take the title off of him. Nobody in the match really needed the title. Eddie Edwards has the Call Your Shot Gauntlet trophy. He can just have a one-on-one match with Ace Austin. Moose, I feel like, is above the X Division title. And Fallah, you could have put the title on him, but really no reason for it. They basically had Rich Swann congratulate Willie Mack on his performance in the tag title match, as he had to go into the match alone. We're not going to see Rich Swann for a while, considering the fact that he got injured at Bash of the Brewery, so he could have already returned by now, since I'm recording this, you know, on April 16th, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, I think you guys should know about this, the LVD celebration, where pretty much him, Katie Forbes, and Katie Forbes' girlfriend made that porno video that got Impact removed from Twitch. This is one of those segments where if you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. So that's pretty much what this was. It's hilarious, and it's just absolutely awesome. Definitely go check it out. And then Tessa Blanchard did a sit-down interview talking about winning the title, what's next for her now that she's won it and stuff. And then as she was in the headquarters of Impact, Sami Callihan came on the screen and basically said that we're not done by a long shot. And she goes all over the place looking for Sami Callihan, but he's not there. So it's Sami Callihan playing mind games with Tessa Blanchard. So they're going to continue that feud at some point. And that was that Impact from January 14th. That was actually a good show. I'm going to give it like a B minus and 80 out of 100. This one I will grade since it was kind of, you know, its own thing. I enjoyed the four-way tag match. I enjoyed the X Division title match. I'm definitely giving it a B minus. I'll probably give it like an 82 out of 100, mainly for the RVD celebration video. That was awesome. And then obviously the Sami Callihan stuff. And then, you know, I'll review Impact Explosion from January 18th, 2020 real quick. Really nothing of note. Josh Alexander defeated TJ Crawford. I believe he just completely squashed him. They did Around the Rim with Tessa Blanchard, just kind of talking about her past and stuff like that. And then it showed from TNA Genesis 2011 Beer Money versus Motor City Machine Guns. So there you go. I'm not going to review that match. I'll review it in the future. And then from Impact Wrestling, January 21st, 2020, up until Explosion, January 15th, 2020. Pretty much was all Impact Wrestling shows in Mexico. They went to Mexico. They since they have a partnership with AAA, you saw a lot of AAA guys there. So that was kind of cool. So we'll just kind of talk about all of the big storylines that have been set up since then. So this Tessa Blanchard had her first actual in-ring promo with the belt, and she basically said that whoever wants to step up and challenge me can challenge me for the belt. We haven't seen Sami Callihan since he's lost the belt, really, but they've been doing these things lately where occasionally someone will hack the show. So it's implied that it's Sami Callihan. I think it's Sami Callihan doing this to play mind games with Tessa Blanchard, which is a bit hypocritical because this was the exact gimmick that he didn't like to do in NXT, and now he's doing it in Impact, so I don't understand why that's happening. But, so she calls out, she says that she's going to be a fighting champion, so she calls out someone to come fight her right now. Taya Valkyrie, who is the Impact Knockouts champion, comes out, and she wants to fight Tessa Blanchard, and I like this too because the people that came out were people that Tessa Blanchard's had problems with. Because Taya Valkyrie beat Tessa Blanchard to become the longest reigning Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion. Meanwhile, also Ace Austin came out, and Ace Austin obviously is the person that Ace Austin actually hit Tessa Blanchard with his cane to actually knock off Tessa Blanchard and win the X Division title. She was the last person he knocked off in that ladder match. So it led to a tag team match later on in the show. It was Trey, who was still kind of having problems with Ace Austin from the past at Hard to Kill. He teamed up with Tessa Blanchard to face Taya Valkyrie and Ace Austin. Ace Austin got the win on Trey. And this is when we found out that it was going to be champion versus champion at Sacrifice. Impact World Champion Tessa Blanchard facing the X Division Champion Ace Austin. And Ace Austin was trying to play mind game with Tessa Blanchard. He sent in Adam Thornstowe to try to take out Tessa Blanchard, but he failed. And then they did a segment backstage where, Ace Austin talked about how he wants to be with Tessa Blanchard, so they kind of had a backstage fight. And then on Impact, on the Go Home show before Sacrifice, they did a six-man tag team match where it was Ace Austin and Reno Scum versus Trey, Tessa Blanchard, and Tommy Dreamer. and everybody in this match had some type of history with Ace Austin, because on one of the Impact tapings, Tommy Dreamer and Ace Austin put on this great, well, not great, but very good hardcore street fight, Falls Count Anywhere match where Ace Austin knocked off Tommy Dreamer. So it led to this match. Ace Austin got the win on Trey, and they've been making Ace Austin look pretty strong going into that match. The only complaint I have about it is it's not for one of the titles. I think it should be for the world title. I think that would make sense, but they're not doing it, going in that direction. But Tessa Blanchard's title reign's been pretty solid. I've enjoyed it. It's kind of one of those things where now that she's won the title, the chase is over, so she kind of has to fall in line a little bit. So I kind of hope that she loses the title, not quickly, but fairly shortly, just because, what makes her character so great is that she's consistently having to consistently overcome the obstacles. So we'll see if that happens. Other things that have been going on, Rhino and Moose have continued their feud. They had a triple threat match with Ty Harris, who was a guy in AAA, and Ty Harris got the win on Moose after Rhino did the dirty work. So Moose blamed Rhino for it. So Moose ended up beating Ty Harris, and then we found out that match was made official for Sacrifice during Rhino and Ty Harris's match. Moose tried to interfere, but they both laid him out. And then while Moose was getting massage, Rhino attacked him. And Moose was out there doing guest commentary doing Rhino versus, I believe it was Jake Christ. Dave Christ, I'm sorry. So, I mean, that's been fairly fine. I've enjoyed that feud. It's good. As for they continue the feud with Michael Elgin and Eddie Edwards. Michael Elgin claimed that Eddie Edwards had tapped out at Hard to Kill, so he wants Eddie Edwards to prove that he really is better than him. So he challenged him to a best-of-5 series for the Call Your Shot trophy. And Michael Elgin won the first 2 matches. He won the first match by making Eddie Edwards pass out to the crossface. And then he won the second match by the Elgin bomb after doing a buckle bomb. And he was very close to pitching a shout out. However, Eddie Edwards knocked him off on the February 18th tapings by beating him with a roll up. And I'm assuming Eddie Edwards will win the next match, and then somebody will win the 5th match. Maybe that's where Eddie Edwards will finally beat him. But they've been put on clinics. And I really enjoy how every match is different. They're not wrestling the same type of match every time. Because you got to change it up when you're wrestling the same person each time. And I really like how Michael Elgin and Eddie Edwards are doing that. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the 4th match in the series. And I really like how Eddie Edwards, even though he got the win, but Michael Elgin's kind of continuously had his number each time. So I'm really enjoying that. Updating you on the knockouts picture. So, Taya Valkyrie was about to live up to a word to Madison Rayne and Kiera Hogan about how she was going to give them a title shot, so she was going to have them face off, and whoever won, she would face first. However, Jordynne Grace got into the mix, so it ended up being a triple threat match. So, Jordynne Grace defeated Madison Rayne and Kiera Hogan to become the number 1 contender, and then, at least when it aired, on February 11th, 2020, Jordynne Grace defeated Taya Valkyrie to become the knockout champion, and she ended up ending her longest reigning title reign. So, yeah, I think that's quite cool. I like the fact they gave it to Jordynne Grace. She had been going for the belt for a while, and I really enjoyed that. This makes me question how much longer Taya Valkyrie is going to last in Impact, considering the fact that her husband now is in WWE, so I'm wondering if she's going to follow suit and go to WWE. Obviously, I'm not going to mention the pandemic going on because the advertising shows that I know aren't happening now because of the state of the world right now that I can't say on YouTube. I can't say the name of it anyways, but I'm just going to kind of treat this and not really talk about that since this was all before that. But yeah, I enjoyed, that, and then Jordynne Grace, did a promo on the most recent episode of Impact on February 18th, talking about how she's going to be a fighting champion, and it was announced that she's going to face Havoc for the title at Sacrifice, and then Johnny Bravo, who feels like he let down Tyler Valkyrie, tried to make this like video package of showing all the highlights, but he's unable to make peace. And Tyler Valkyrie talked about she's going to get the title back, so they may do a rematch, and then maybe that will be when Tyler Valkyrie either gets phased out of the company if she's leaving. Not much really going on with the tag title picture. The North really haven't had any luck lately. They started a feud now recently with TJP and Fallah Bahh because the North, I believe it was Josh Alexander, lost to Vikingo, and then TJP defeated Vikingo, and afterwards the North attacked them both. And then Fallah Bahh and TJP have both beaten each members of the North in singles matches, so they may be doing a tag title match at some point. It's really weird though, because Sacrifice, well, at least for me, it's coming up anyways. And they didn't do them versus the North. Instead, they did the North versus Dez and Wentz, which just seems odd. So I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, that's been a fine tag title program. Nothing special. I mean, the only other thing really to break down is they did a feud with RVD and Joey Ryan about how Joey Ryan was making a joke out of the wrestling business, and RVD was sick of it. So RVD attacked him, and it led to a match, and RVD beat him in the match. Thank God. He didn't take the dick spot, thank God. And then he looks like he's gonna be launching into a feud with Daga. So I'm enjoying, well, not a feud, but he's having a match with him on the next episode. And what else? Dr. Wagner Jr. showing up. He's been teaming up with Daga. Who did he beat the first time? I don't remember who he beat the first time. So I want to make sure that I get that type of stuff right. He teamed up with Daga. They defeated Reno Scum. Then they were attacked by OVE minus Sami Callihan, and they beat the Christs. And then Madman Fulton defeated Daga in the match. I'm not really a fan of how OVE's been booked as of late. They had a match with the Deaners, at least Madman Fulton and Jake Christ have, and they didn't win, even though they attacked him before the match and dominated most of it. I just feel like since Sami Callihan's lost the belt, that they really haven't been the main focus as of late, and it just really kind of pisses me off because I really like them, especially Madman Fulton. I think he has a real future. I don't know why they're not going with him. I'm not saying he has to win the belt or anything, but maybe he should be the person that challenges Tessa Blanchard first for the belt. At least he's still winning, so I'm happy about that at least. And he's still laid out, after Dago and Dr. Wagner Jr. defeated the Christs, he still laid them out afterwards, so he's still being booked fairly strong. But I'm not really a fan of how the Christs are being booked. I just think they should all be booked fairly strong. They've been doing a storyline with Willie Mack and Johnny Swinner, Johnny Swinner, where Johnny Swinner wants to be his tag team opponent called the Mack and Pack Connection. So they've been kind of having this little feud with the Daisy Hip Squad. I believe Willie Mack defeated Rohit Raju, and he was attacked afterwards, and then Johnny Swinner saved him. So Johnny Swinner basically organized a match between Willie Mack and Mahabali Shera, and the match got thrown out, and they finally teamed up, but they didn't win because they couldn't get along. And then Willie Mack defeated Johnny Swinner recently in a match, and I really don't like the Johnny Swinner character. I just hate the fact that it's the guy that can't get out of the 80s gimmick, and it's not even done well. You could do this gimmick and just have him refuse to, but he just doesn't even know it's a different year, and he just thinks it's the cool stuff, and it's just not really connected. So I really don't like that. I like Willie Mack. I feel like he deserves better than doing this. I think he should go for maybe and the X Division title against Ace Austin and stuff like that. I think that'd be pretty interesting. Um, and then a weird feud that started up was the stuff going on with Susie. So as we know, Father James Mitchell's been trying to like recruit Susie, because they want to prevent her from becoming Su Yun, and Rosemary wants her to be Su Yun, which I don't know why, because Susie was actually better. But what's been going on is Rosemary had a match with Havoc, and then they did a segment where Rosemary was getting choked, and it was bringing flashbacks of Susie, of her getting hung by Havoc. So Father James Mitchell put a stop to it. It led to Rosemary losing the match because she kept trying to win Su Yun out of Susie. And Rosemary wanted to have a match with Susie. We knew she had something planned, but we didn't know what it was going to be. So she ended up attacking Father James Mitchell and Havoc and locking him into a. She locked Father James Mitchell into a room, and she put a sleeper hold on Havoc, and they had the match with Susie, and it led to a double countout. And Rosemary did the same thing to Susie as Havoc did to Su Yun. Like, they basically copied it, where she got hung, and it transformed her back into Su Yun, and it showed that everybody was laid out, so we knew that some trouble was brewing. But then the next week, she was Susie again, and we find out that she could channel Susie and Su Yun. She can kind of go back and forth between the both characters, and she ended up killing Father James Mitchell. And yes, he went into like the grave. It actually, they did like a funny scene with that. And Havoc's worried that Su Yun's gonna come after her now. Um, and yeah, I enjoyed this angle. It's something different, something unique. It's theatrical stuff. It does have its hokey moments, like the music that played when Rosemary was like attacking uh, Havoc and Father James Mitchell. But I did make the complaint before. I think they should have gone the direction where Susie knows that she's doing this, and now it seems like that they are going with that, where she can transform now into between gimmicks, and I think that's pretty cool, because you can get some mileage. Because I was kind of disappointed at first when they just turned it back into Su Yun. They were going to abandon the Susie gimmick, and it's like I feel like you have a lot of mileage with that. So now that she could kind of switch between the two gimmicks, I think it's pretty cool. Um, and obviously they're gonna do a match probably with Su Yun and Havoc, maybe some type of like death match or something, and maybe they'll make it like theatrical. So I would actually quite enjoy that. And that's pretty much all of the Impact Wrestlings. I'm gonna go over the explosions real quick because I don't really go that long. Um, they did a match on Explosion with Keely and Lady Mauvalia. This was the AAA match. I don't remember who won this match because it's been a few weeks since I've seen it. I'm just gonna say I think it was Lady Mauvalia won, and then they did a round the room with Michael Elgin talking about his backstory and stuff and what he does in life, hosted by Gabby Loren every time. They showed a match from TNA Genesis 2012 between Jane Storm and Kurt Angle. Um, then an explosion from February 1st. TJP defeated Johnny Swinner. They did a round the win with Jordan Grace. That's a good interview to listen to. They showed a match from Genesis 2013 between Jeff Hardy, Austin Aries, and Bobby Roode. That's actually a hell of a match. I have a review of that on my channel. Then Pagano defeated Lucha the Legend on the February 8th explosion. And then they did a round the ring with Falaba. That was a funny one. Definitely watch that. They showed the TNA World Championship match between Brother Ray, Brother Devon, Kurt Angle, and Stin from TNA Against All Odds 2009. And then from the February 15th episode, the Rascals defeated Drastic Boy, Dinsta, and Iron Kid in a six-man tag. It was a good match, but it should have had more time. It would have been an even better match. They did around the rim with Johnny Swinner. That was quite cool. They showed the 8-card stud tournament finals match between Mr. Anderson and DePope D'Angelo De Niro from TNA Against All Odds 2009. And then from February, I believe it was 22nd, 2020, There was that Divas match with Jay Chris and Madman Fulton I told you about. They did it around the rim with Katie Forbes. Really wasn't worth it listening to. Then it showed the ladder match from TNA against All Odds 2011 between Jeff Hardy and Mr. Anderson. And yeah, that's Explosion. And that's my thoughts on all this batch of Impact Wrestling stuff. If I had to give a rating for this batch of episode or a letter grade, it's good stuff. I enjoy it. Impact Wrestling is typically has something enjoyable every week, so I'll give it like a B minus. I'll give it an 84 out of 100. It's good stuff. The only thing I would make recommendations for is I think they need to make the impacts more must see because I don't really feel like I'm missing all that much. And I feel like we need to kind of have more in-ring promos than matches. I like the matches, but I feel like I need something more than just in-ring stuff. There needs to be other factors in there. They are doing some of it with, you know, the Susie storyline, but I want to see more in-ring promos. I want to see more character development. We're not really getting that now, so that's something I would like to see. But now I'll do my quick predictions for the two Twitch specials, and well, the Twitch special and then the Impact exclusive. Since I'm here and I'm gonna watch it, I'll probably do a single review of those shows. I'm just gonna pull it up. I have it on my Instagram. I bookmarked it. So starting with the first, the Twitch special. It's called Outbreak. I'm just gonna do some quick predictions for these matches. We have Dave Crist versus Joey Ryan. I don't like Joey Ryan, so I'm picking Dave Crist, but I have a feeling Joey Ryan's probably gonna win that match. That match won't be very good. We have Rhino versus Madman Fulton. I see Rhino getting the win so he can build up momentum with his match with Moose, but I would like to see Madman Fulton win. We have Johnny Swinner versus Willie Mack in a rematch. I see Willie Mack winning that. I don't see Johnny Swinner really ever winning matches. I think he's just going to be a punching bag on the roster. We have Moose versus Jay Bradley. Moose is probably going to win that so he can build up his momentum for his match with Rhino at Sacrifice the next day. And Moose is on TV every week, is someone that they should be pushed into the world title at some point. We have the North versus AC Romero and Larry D. I don't know if this is for the tag titles. If it is, the North retain, but I still think the North's going to win because they're your tag team champions. They've been losing a lot lately. I think they need a big win to kind of get them back on track. I think that could be a hell of a match with because I've seen a lot of really good AC Romero and Larry D matches. Then we have Kara Hogan versus Havoc versus Jordan Grace versus a mystery person versus another mystery person. As for the mystery person, I think could be. I think it says here that they're combining this show with OBW talent. It's probably going to be the two OBW talent. I don't know who it's going to be because I don't watch OBW all the time. But I don't know who could win this match because it all depends on if it's for the title. If it's for the title, Jordan Grace retains it. She just won it. There's no reason to take it off of her. If it's not for the belt, I could see Havoc winning by pinning like Kara Hogan or something, so that way she can build momentum going into that Knockouts title match she has coming up at Sacrifice. But I'm just going to play the safe bet and say Jordan Grace wins that match. And then we have what looks to be the main event. I think it's just a regular tag team match. Yeah, it is a regular tag team match. It's Tessa Blanchard and Daga versus Ace Austin and Jake Christ. There's a lot of story behind this match. You know, Daga has had past issues with OVE. Obviously Tessa has issues with, Ace Austin since she's facing him at Sacrifice and obviously OVE. I like the fact that they're doing the thing with Dago and Tessa Blanchard are teaming up since they're engaged in real life, and they're not doing it for like a story. They're not bringing up the fact that they are engaged. They're just letting them team up. I really enjoy that. I say Tessa Blanchard and Daga will get the win. And you could have Jay Christ take the fall. I think it won't really hurt him too much, but I just don't see Tessa and Daga losing that match. I'll repeat my picks real quick. So I predict that Dave Christ is going to beat Joey Ryan. Rhino is going to beat Madman Fulton. Willie Mack's going to defeat Johnny Swinner. Moose is going to defeat Jay Bradley. The North is going to win the tag team match against AC Romero and Larry D. Jordan Grace is going to win that fatal five-way match. And Tessa Blanchard and Daga will win the main event. So now let's go on to Sacrifice and do my predictions for that real quick. There's a, the show looks good on paper. So let's go through it. We have Madman Fulton and I believe Dave Christ versus Larry D and AC Romero. I see Madman Fulton and Dave Christ winning that. You could give it to Larry D and AC Romero by having him pin Dave Christ, but I think OVE need to get a big win. They've been kind of losing a lot lately, so I think they should get a big win. Willie Mack versus Jay Bradley. I see Willie Mack winning that. He's the one that's featured on TV every week versus Jay Bradley. It says Kara Hogan's in action. I don't know who she's facing, but I see whoever she faces, she'll probably win unless it's like some big debut or something. But I'll just say Kara Hogan wins just to be on the safe side. We have Johnny Swinner versus Joey Ryan. I really don't want to pick this because I don't like both of these guys. But like I said, because Johnny Swinner is just a punching bag, I'm going to say Joey Ryan wins, unfortunately. We have Daga versus Jake Christ. This match could go either way. I'm going to say Daga wins. I don't think Jay Christ needs to win. I would like to see him win because it would be nice for OVE, but I would say I see them giving it to Daga, especially because this would help build up momentum for his match with RVD coming up at Impact. We have the Impact World Tag Team Championship match. The North defending against the Rascals. I see the North retaining the titles. I don't see them losing the titles. They should do a title change on the Impact Plus special. I know that's where the North won the belts originally, but I think the North are going to keep the titles. They've had them for this long. I don't see them losing them right now. We have Moose versus Rhino. You could give it to Rhino and do a third match, but I just don't really think that's going to help anyone. I think Moose should win. Rhino has nothing to gain from winning that match. I think they should give it to Moose. Really build him up. We have, for the Impact Knockouts Championship, Jordan Grace defending against Havoc. Same thing that I said before. Jordan Grace just won the belt not that long ago, so I see her retaining the championship. And then we have the main event, champion versus champion match. Impact World Champion Tessa Blanchard versus Impact X Division Champion Ace Austin. I see Tessa winning this match. I would be stunned if I saw Ace Austin win this match, but I think that this is gonna. I mean, they could do it considering the fact that if there's no titles on the line. Like I said, I think they should have put the world title on the line, but I see Tessa walking away with the win. She hasn't really been winning a whole lot since she's won the title, so I think they kind of need to give her a win because then it's going to kind of she'll look like a fluke champion if she doesn't win all the time. So I think Tessa's going to get a big win here. This will get her revenge from when Ace Austin hit her with the cane to win the X Division title. So I see Tessa winning. So I'll do my predictions again real quick. So I see Dave Price and Madman Fulton defeating Larry D and AC Romero. I see Willie Mack defeating Jay Bradley. Kara Hogan's going to probably beat whoever comes out. I see Joey Ryan defeating Johnny Swinner. Daga defeating Jake Christ. The North retaining the Impact World Tag Team titles. Moose defeating Rhino. Jordan Grace retaining the Impact Knockouts Championship. And Tessa Blanchard defeated Ace Austin in the main event. So that's all my thoughts on Impact Wrestling. I understand I got to catch up on some other videos. I'll probably try to watch this show, maybe, but not this show, not Sacrifice, but probably Outbreak, and get a review of that at some point. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content. And yeah, click on the bell so that way every time I upload a video, you guys get the notifications for it. And make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers and No I'm Talking to YouTube channels. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.